nuclear glass all over the Earth that exists in that time period, and it seems like something happened that reset civilization. Hold on to your tin-foil hats because the truth is about to drop like a UFO landing in your backyard. In a world-shattering revelation, the renowned podcaster and skeptic buster Joe Rogan reveals what scientists just found under the eye of the Sahara Desert. Do you have what it takes to stomach the truth? Join us as we unveil the cosmic mysteries lurking beneath the sand dunes. The Sahara Desert, the ultimate scorching playground of Mother Nature, is not just any desert. It's the hottest, meanest desert around, making all other deserts feel like tiny patches of the sandbox. You thought Antarctica and the Arctic were big? Well, the Sahara is right up there, claiming the bronze medal in the Desert Olympics. The vast expanse of the Sahara Desert stretches over 11 countries in northern Africa like a never-ending red carpet event. We're talking about Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, and more. Now picture the Sahara surrounded by its natural posse. On the west side, we've got the Atlantic Ocean bringing those beach vibes to the desert like a surfer catching the perfect wave. In the north, the Atlas Mountains and the Mediterranean Sea join the party, adding a touch of rugged beauty and salty breezes. In the east, the Red Sea struts its stuff, flaunting its vibrant hues like a flashy supermodel. We also have the Sahel, a semi-arid region that's like the Sahara's cool cousin. It's a delicate balance between dry and not so dry where the desert meets the grasslands. Imagine the Sahara as a whopping 9 million square kilometers of pure, unadulterated sandiness. That's like having a massive sandbox that stretches across a mind-boggling 31% of the entire African continent. On top of that, the Sahara's got the hottest desert climate known to humanity, with temperatures so sizzling they'd make the sun break a sweat. We're talking an average annual temperature of a toasty 30 degrees Celsius, which can go off the charts and hit a blistering 50 degrees Celsius in the summer. And don't even get us started on winter, it can plunge below freezing, giving you a taste of what popsicles feel like. What about rain? The Sahara laughs in the face of rainfall. It gets less than 100 millimeters of wet stuff each year, which is basically like a tiny drop in a never-ending ocean of sand. In fact, some unlucky spots go for years without even a single drop. But wait, there's more. The Sahara has its very own dramatic seasonal guest star called the North African monsoon. It's moist air swooping in from the Atlantic Ocean like a moisture-laden superhero, bringing some much-needed rain and shaking things up. Oh, and let's not forget about the Saharan air layer, the Sahara's own notorious air mass. It's like a fiery dragon that occasionally decides to spew hot, dry air and massive dust storms, sending its regards all the way across the mighty Atlantic Ocean. But wait, there's more than just creepy crawlies. Enter the ultimate desert superstar, the camel. These humped wonders can rock a dehydrated look like no other. With their ability to store fat and water in their humps, they strut through the desert oozing confidence. As for human history and culture, the Sahara has been inhabited for thousands of years. Can you imagine the rock art from 12,000 BCE in Algeria and Niger? The Sahara was once a more fertile region, with lakes and rivers that supported wildlife and human settlements. But then the climate decided to be a buzzkill, and things got drier around 5,500 BCE, forcing people to migrate or adapt to new ways of life. We will talk about it later. And let's not forget about the caravans of camels carrying goods like gold, salt, ivory, and slaves across the desert. Doesn't it sound like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie? Along the way, they built trade routes and cities that became the stuff of legends, like Timbuktu, Gao, Jen, and Sijilmasa. But here's the real showstopper, the desert's pièce de résistance, the Eye of the Sahara, or as some call it, the Richat Structure. It's like nature's gigantic bullseye, spanning a whopping 40 kilometers wide. Would you be interested in playing some cosmic darts now? This thing is so impressive that astronauts cruising above in their spaceships can actually spot it from outer space. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a landmark event for those brave space explorers, like a cosmic lighthouse. Back in the swinging 60s, those cool Gemini astronauts decided to snap a picture of this mind-blowing creation. They needed something to keep an eye on, just in case those pesky aliens decided to make a surprise visit. But it wasn't just a quick snapshot, they were seriously keeping tabs on it. Later on, the super-smart Landsat satellite came along and took even more pictures, and boy did it spill some serious beans about the size, height, and extent of this place. It's like they gave us the inside scoop on this Sahara's little secret. Now here's where things get spicy. Some geologists were initially convinced that the Eye of the Sahara was the result of an epic cosmic collision, like some extraterrestrial object crashing into our dear planet. But after some deep digging, those rock experts discovered that the whole shebang is entirely Earth-made. Yeah, Mother Earth herself was the mastermind behind this geological spectacle. So how did it form? Long, long ago, before the desert claimed its territory, the Eye of the Sahara was a happening place. It was like the coolest club you've never been to, a temperate wonderland with flowing water and lush landscapes. Anyway, during this epic bash, winds were blowing sand left and right, and rivers and lakes were in full swing, dropping sandstone rocks. Meanwhile, deep beneath the Earth's surface, volcanic activity decided to join the party. It lifted the entire landscape like a boss and pushed up layers of sandstone and other rocks. But as all parties eventually do, this volcanic extravaganza had to calm down. The music faded, the lights dimmed, and wind and water erosion took the stage. They started nibbling away at the domed layers of rock, slowly but surely. And guess what? The region started to settle down and collapse in on itself, creating the remarkable circular eye feature. Now hold on tight because we're about to take a trip through time and space forward to the breakup of Pangaea, the supercontinent that knew how to rock the geologic dance floor. As Pangaea broke apart, the Atlantic Ocean waters decided to crash the party, flowing into the region like they owned the place. And while Pangaea was doing its separation thing, magma from the Earth's mantle wanted in on this action too. It pushed up, forming a circle-shaped rocky dome surrounded by those funky sandstone layers. Erosion kept doing its thing, wearing down the igneous rocks and sandstones. The dome subsided, leaving behind circular ridges that give the Richat structure its awesome sunken circular shape, looking like a natural amphitheater. And what exactly is this Richat structure made of? Well, imagine a light elliptical dome that's been eroded to perfection over millions of years. Inside this magical dome, you'll find sedimentary rocks that date back to the late Proterozoic era, just casually hanging out. They go from the center of the dome all the way to the Ordovician sandstone in the middle. The way those tough quartzite layers have weathered over time has created these rad circular slopes. And right in the heart of this mysterious creation, there's a siliceous breccia covering an area that's at least 30 kilometers in diameter. What about the formation of it? Now deep inside the Eye of the Sahara, you'll find a motley crew of rocks. We can find all sorts of cool stuff here, from rhyolitic volcanic rocks to gabbros, carbonatites, and kimberlites. The rhyolitic rocks are the rockstar lava flows alongside their hydrothermally altered tufaceous buddies. They belong to two eruptive centers like the remnants of ancient Mars. It's a simple scenario, erupting volcanoes causing chaos and then chilling out for millions of years. The gabbroic rocks decided to form two ring dikes. The inner ring dike is about 20 meters wide, located a cozy 3 kilometers from the center of the Richat structure. The outer ring dike stretches about 50 meters wide, getting comfy 7 to 8 kilometers away from the center. We've got a bunch of carbonatite dikes and sills, which are around 300 meters long, but they're not about width. Nope, they prefer to be 1 to 4 meters wide. It's all about the massive carbonatites devoid of vesicles. They've been chilling here for millions of years, dating back between 94 and 104 million years ago. Also hidden in the northern part of the Richat structure, we stumbled upon a surprise, a kimberlitic plug, and a few sills decided to crash the party. This kimberlite plug, with an impressive age of approximately 99 million years, adds a touch of glamour to the scene. So what does all this rock extravaganza really mean? Well, apparently there's a massive alkaline igneous intrusion hanging out beneath the Richat structure. And now it's time for the ultimate bombshell you have been waiting for. You see, in all its glory, the Richat structure has given rise to various conspiracy theories. Now our pal Corsetti, who Joe Rogan invited on his show, believes he's found the smoking gun to prove that the Eye of the Sahara is the legendary Atlantis, and boy does he have some evidence up his sleeve. But we'll get to that in just a moment. First things first, the big question that needs answering: what exactly is Atlantis? Corsetti sets the stage by diving into Plato's ancient texts and describing the grand, circular city of Atlantis. It's like he painted a vivid picture of an ancient civilization that would make even the most skeptical listener's jaws drop. And with the Eye of the Sahara circular structure matching Plato's description, well, it's enough to make you wonder if there's more to this story than just myths and legends. So Corsetti didn't stop there. He dropped another bombshell by discussing ancient texts that mentioned a powerful civilization destroyed by cataclysmic events. He believes that the geological evidence found in the Sahara, along with the dating of certain structures, supports the idea that Atlantis might have been located in this very region. He mentions finding ruins that align with Plato's descriptions of the lost city's architecture and the possibility of ancient technology far beyond what we can comprehend today. Corsetti gets into the nitty-gritty details, mentioning specific artifacts and structures discovered within the Richat structure that hint at advanced engineering and an advanced civilization. It's like piecing together an ancient puzzle. Corsetti also brings up the idea that this lost civilization could have left behind knowledge or technology that we have yet to fully understand, and the Eye of the Sahara might hold the key to unlocking these secrets. But let's not forget that even the most jaw-dropping claims need some solid evidence. Corsetti addresses skeptics, acknowledging that his theories might sound outlandish to some but urging them to keep an open mind and consider the compelling pieces of the puzzle he's presented. So what does Joe Rogan think about all this? True to his inquisitive and open-minded style, Rogan dives into the conversation with curiosity and a healthy dose of skepticism. He asks tough questions, seeking clarification on the evidence and pushing Corsetti to explain his theories in more detail. Rogan's engaging interview style creates a dynamic discussion where Corsetti's ideas are thoroughly explored, and the listeners are left to ponder the possibilities. Now, whether you believe in the Eye of the Sahara as the true location of Atlantis or not, there's no denying that this podcast episode delves into some of the most intriguing mysteries of our time. It's a fascinating journey through history, geology, and mythology that will leave you questioning the limits of what we know about our world and its hidden secrets. So as you wrap up this mind-bending episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, you'll find yourself pondering the ancient mysteries that continue to elude us. Could the Eye of the Sahara really be the key to uncovering the secrets of Atlantis? And what other hidden wonders might be lurking beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered by intrepid explorers and open-minded thinkers like Joe Rogan and his guests? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: the Eye of the Sahara has just become a whole lot more intriguing.